Have any of you listened to Powerwolf? CRUSADER'S MANTLE. Third level evocation, casting time of 1 action, range of self, components verbal, duration, concentration up to 1 minute. Oh, another pally spell. Holy power radiates from you in an aura within a 30-foot radius, awakening boldness in friendly creatures. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with you, centered on you, while in the aura, each non-hostile creature in the aura, including you, deals an extra 1d4 radiant damage when it hits with a weapon attack. So this is a funky one. Namely, I'd say an action on a paladin for a 3rd level spell that doesn't smite or some kind of damage or line up immediately or effect can hurt it. Only lasts for a minute. You're the center of it. The difference I have here is like, oh well, a d4, that's not a lot. Especially what you can do single target wise by just stacking that all into smite. Thing is though, it's not a set of creatures within range, it's all allies within a 30-foot radius. Now while that might not be too much with just your average D&D party number size, get a group of town guards, summons, even undead if you're an Oathbreaker or other, and just pack as many attacks and multi-attacks and flanking that you can within that 30-foot radius. But even then, it's still only a d4. I mean, to be fair, that many numbers, like let's say you're getting hit from 2 attacks each on 8 separate targets entirely surrounding you, that's gonna add up. But the number of attacks and damage are already going to be adding up because of how many numbers you have to get in that situation to make it truly worth it. There is also the angle of when fighting undead, or things that are vulnerable to radiant, or take some type of debuff when radiant. So there is that angle as well. Like, especially if you're fighting things with mundane weapons and they have immunities, doubt they're gonna have resistance to that radiant though. So also that town guard scenario, or buffing up some of your party members that don't have magical weapons at the moment. The issue is, at that moment, you're already you can already cast 3rd level spells as a paladin. You're already quite there. Outside of giving, I mean, it'd be useful for churches and guards and like NPC-wise having this always prepped. Maybe not always prepped, but you kind of get the angle I'm going for, that a paladin going along a front line with a bunch of mundane guard, imbuing them. It's less to buff the paladin themselves and more actually allowing all the mundane guard to hit things with resistances and deal alright damage. That's also why it's probably a d4, is more to make up for half of the damage of the base attack being resisted. Not really to add, it's more to make up for. It's ignoring a resistance without ignoring a resistance. Because also it's specifically when it hits with a weapon, which, now that I think about it, takes out some of the undead and elemental summon options, or beasts and such. They have to have a weapon. I'd give this a 5 out of 10. Namely because it's kind of middle of the road on Paladin, 3rd level spell, but it's a decent radius for the situations that we just talked about of non-magic weapons unable to hit a resistance or probably do damage to a target with resistances. But it's less buffing you and it's more your allies, which it's a paladin aura, so kind of already supposed to do that. Not too worth it on an adventuring party themselves. For a paladin, an NPC paladin surrounded by other like church guards or general guards fighting off demons invading or something, Hero of Kvatch style. Be worth it then.